at least 14 VGA cables, not to mention 15, there's 16 over there, 17 VGA cables. The Writing Studio 2.0. All unnecessary stuff or things that didn't have pieces, things that didn't belong here, things that we didn't necessarily need have been moved into the surplus pile, along with some other English department stuff that should be moved out of here. This chair is completely broken, so that's going to get moved out. Lots of miscellaneous kind of garbage stuff, but here's just kind of maybe the grand tour. So walk in, come over to a bookshelf that is devoid of books. So I'm sorry to everyone that really loves books, but we're going to be dealing primarily with like media, and we don't need a whole bunch of... I don't want people like reading books before they go do something. Like with media work, it's best to just kind of jump in and figure out what you're doing along the way, rather than like sit down and really like overly premeditate what you're doing. So all the how-to books and stuff like that are gone. All the equipment has been organized nicely into some storage bins that should make it easy to find things and also store them. That's another big thing that was kind of, I think a big thing that was lacking in here was usability. It was just kind of a big mess, and I don't think if you were coming in here with like a really specific end that you would be able to achieve that end, just because it was kind of like overwhelming all over the place. We have some professional audio equipment here. I'm not sure what the application for that is, but if somebody wants to record an album or something, we've got that. Tripod. We have a camcorder here. Shoots in HD. It looks kind of nice, but a little bulky, hard to bring around. This guy is a Nikon mirrorless camera. Very, very nice camera. It should be able to shoot really excellent video or audio. And I do have these really like, there are two of them for some reason, I don't know why, but this is a shotgun mic, so it's going to pick up directional audio with whatever's in front of it. So you're going to mount this to the top of the camera, and then it's going to listen to whatever's directly in front of you. So that means that you'll be able to shoot really like kind of professional quality video on something like that. Some miscellaneous microphones, bunch of software, most of which is just not really going to be very useful. Tons of miscellaneous cables, office supplies. We've got a projector down here, camera bag, and some DVDs. And here's kind of the grand vision for how this is all going to work out. We're going to get, first thing on my list of like kind of acquisition is like widescreen monitors, because when you're going to edit video and something like this, it's just, it doesn't have the correct like proportions to even do. So like a widescreen, the way that everything shoots now, is going to come out a little bit. So that's going to distort everything. We don't want that. And that's unfortunately most of the monitors that I have right now. This is the only widescreen that we have, so it's going to be doing most of the work for the time being. The goal is to get some widescreen monitors for these computers so we can actually do a little bit of work on it. The other goal, I think, we're only going to have like 2 workstations that are tied to a computer. So probably just going to be that one and maybe this one. The other 2 areas I want to leave open, but they're going to have monitors and they're going to have keyboard and mice. And that's for people to actually bring their things to the digital writing studio, work on them, and then they can leave. And just have access to maybe a better work environment while they're in here. removing one of the number of chairs that didn't work, and that's pretty much it. I rewired the entire room and basically produced that behemoth. There were tons of these like phantom wires that didn't lead to anything. Lots of stuff was plugged in but didn't actually have like a connection to the other end of it. So there's just plugs, cable, cords, stuff like that everywhere. That's all been consolidated into that pile, which will hopefully be removed very soon. And I think what we're left with is a much more usable and manageable space to actually do some stuff. And I wanted to get everything out so that we could get new stuff in. That might help us a little bit, right? There was really not enough space to move around in here, much less like put new stuff. So hopefully next order of business, now that everything is straightened and cleaned, will be to get some cool new stuff for us to work with.